Inside here, as you can see, is Woody the boiler. So, I don't know what you want me to show you about Woody.
What make is it? What is it?
Woody is Danish. We got him installed from a company south after going through the Energy Scotland people and then looking at all of the ones that were accredited. It uses a Scott burner head, which after some research is apparently the one that gives you the longest lifespan on it.
Okay.
Okay, so as you can see, the flue from the top comes down into the back of the boiler, and the only piece that gets hot is this piece here.
Okay.
So when your boiler's on, that's the only piece, and by the time it gets to there, that's it. Cool.
Very good. How big is the boiler?
This is a 27 kilowatt boiler that can run 13 radiators off it comfortably and easily, so there should be no issues for running a large house. You can get smaller ones, and I think they go up to about 32 kilowatts. So
how much pellets would you burn a year?
This year we've burned over the winter 3.5 tons.
3.5 tons.
So which would equate to 3 tanks of oil, and that's cost us. We're on our 4th ton now, so say 4 ton would cost you about £1,000 a year to run, which would, as I say, cater to about 4 tanks of oil. Which,
yeah, the pellets are a little bit more expensive, of course, because we're in Orkney and they have to travel that bit further. But mainland should be a little bit cheaper. Yeah. But what was your? Could you mind telling us your old fuel bills for your oil?
That was around about £3,000 a year.
So you're saving £2,000 a year.
We're saving £2,000 a year. We were looking at a better cost-effective system, so we looked at putting in an oil condensing boiler, which would have saved us probably about £500 a year. We also looked at air source heat pump, but because we live in an old house and we don't have underfloor heating.
Right.
We looked at ground source, but we live in a rocky area, very, very expensive to install in an old property, great in a new property. So after a bit more research, we found that the wood pellet boilers, we did know somebody who'd got one. So we went and had a wee look at theirs. However, their system wasn't really suitable for us. So after speaking to Colin Reisberger, actually they couldn't give us much information on biomass. Looking on the internet, again, not much information on biomass. So we spoke to, luckily we've got in touch with a company called Green Flame, and they talked us through the system.
Right. So that's what you really needed. You really needed somebody to come out and give you some advice.
Advice and help as to where to go.
And not too pushy with the sales. Not
too pushy with the sales, giving you, telling you what you're going to be spending, exactly what's going to be installed, exactly how much you're spending on each piece of item, how it's going to fit into your lifestyle. Because, are you prepared to come out once a week to fill up your hopper, or you're not? Yeah. Was it a system that I could run from away from home if I wanted to? This system does. I can put it onto the laptop if I want to, and it can be run remotely. Was it difficult to maintain? Would I need someone to help me maintain it? Or can I do it all myself? Would I need my husband to come out if he was away or anything? To if anything went wrong? It's a really simple system, so that really sold it to us as well. The only thing that's gone wrong for us is this wee box here, and all I did was to send a new one up within 48 hours, took a photograph and rewired it and back the same, so that was great.
So they're a very simple, reliable system.
Very simple, reliable system, very easy to use. No major problems at all. But as I say, in the first instance, it took us 3 years to get through the mire of everything to come to this decision. So we were living without heating. We were living in, So it is very difficult to find that information out there. And then we're using relatively new technology. We didn't know anyone. We'd seen one, but they were slightly biased. But it was a suck it and see system, and actually I would recommend it now. Having used it for a winter, our house has been warm in every room. It's been easy to use, and once you've got through, but somebody to help would have been great. Somebody you could ring up and go, what kind of systems are out there? What would you recommend? Have you got anyone who's got one? what's their experience with the company.
Yeah.
You know, because that's quite tricky.
Oh, very good.
It's tricky to navigate.
One last question. You say you have to fill this up once a week. Yeah. Have you considered getting a big shed, a big hopper that you would fill up maybe once a year?
You can do that south, because you can get a lorry to come and put fill your whole hopper up with, and they come along like they with the oil tank, and they drop it all in. In Orkney, we don't have that, you know, capacity. Yeah. So 200 kilograms will last most people nearly a fortnight. We have a relatively large house, so it's lasting us about 10 days. So. Fully installed, it came to £9,994. But we also had this all singing, all dancing hot water boiler put in for the same amount of money, because then it's outside of the house and it runs that, which is a 300 litre super insulated tank thing. So you could probably take £1,000 off that if you didn't have that.
So, you know, even before the RHI, it's 5 years and it pays for itself, which is more than acceptable, isn't it? With the rising costs of oil and.
Yeah, so even if we weren't getting any money back on it, it would still be cost effective.